Good morning. Yeah, it's 3:44. I actually got a little bit of sleep early evening last night, and then I woke up and was going to do the video, but it was so sluggish I decided to do some maintenance tests on it. And in fact, some of the maintenance was still clearing out some old files when I came to the computer a little bit earlier. But I decided to stop that because it was just erasing old files, and it didn't matter, like backup files and stuff like that. Anyway, the title for today's video is "It's More Than a House, It's the Principle." As mentioned yesterday, I have had a number of friends suggest I let them take the house. It's just a house, they say, and you can find another home. No, that is not true. This home is paid for, no mortgage and no rent. I get less than $1,000 per month. Rent would take most of that, leaving me to live like a pauper. I am a king's kid, a child of one I have called God since I learned to talk. As I've said before, my home, until my daughter and her husband moved in with 3 children, was also a church with weekly meetings. My ministry expanded when I began making daily videos in January 2011, in my home. This is much more than simply a house to me. Why is that so hard for some people to understand? They will have to kill me to get me out of here. Yes, I'm that committed to truth and to honest principles. No compromise. Yes, I decided yesterday that I need to set the record straight and maybe have a few more videos explaining some of the process for people that are relatively new listeners and don't remember how I came into this home and some of the challenges that I've had since I've been here with them trying to take it away. But again, this is a church. I have gone through many legal loopholes to try to maintain it, because before I lived here a month, it was just a couple weeks after I moved in, I received a phone call and was told that a lawsuit had been filed against me by the banker and his wife. You've heard me say that before. I hadn't been served papers yet, and I kept calling the court. It took about 2 to 3 weeks, I think, at least 2 weeks, for me to get the paperwork on the lawsuit. And it finally came, and I hired an attorney because I didn't know any better. And anyway, things dragged on and on for 10.5 years. It's still going on. It's still unresolved. I'm not going to talk in this video about all of the things that I've had to go through. But I want to make it clear that how I feel about this place and what challenges I would face. Dr. Mary left me with a lot of her stuff. Well, all of her stuff. All of her books, all of her furniture, not only from her house, but from the church that was stored in her house and in her garage and on porches, the big back porch in her house. Lots of things were stored there. It took 3, those trailers that they take and they leave at your house. You fill it up, then they come with a truck and pick it up and take it away. I filled 3 of those with her stuff and brought it into my house. I've taken a lot of stuff out of here. I've let them sell at auction some of the antique furniture that got practically nothing in return. I mean, they were selling things dirt cheap in the auction. They still have other things in the auction, silverware, when I say silverware, I'm talking about silver plated hardware, and yes, silverware too, and all sorts of smaller items that have not been auctioned yet, as far as I understand. I mean, I've gotten less than $2,000 for a trailer load of merchandise or of things that they took out of my house, a trailer load of it. And I've gotten less than $2,000 for it, which I expected a lot more. But that's the reality that I'm facing. And I don't have unlimited capital to go into another home and pay rent. If I was going to do that, I would at least want to be able to cover the first year, and hopefully things will change in the system that allows us to start getting the money that's rightly ours, that has been stolen from us by the cabal. And that's all over the world, especially in the United States, but all over the world. They've been stealing our value, converting it into cash so that they can become multi-trillionaires, perhaps in some of the cases of some of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and stuff like that. They have money is no object to them. I mean, they can buy whatever the heck they want and buy people. And they do. And they have lots of people that are bought and paid for working for them to maintain their dishonest and unlawful system. But it's become legal because they've made it legal, and people weren't told enough so that they would protest what was going on. And the few people that did start raising their voices often were imprisoned or killed. And so it's been a fixed battlefield where the average Joe and average Jane don't have a chance to have their rights restored, because when they start raising their voices, they get silenced in one way or another. And when I came to the computer, when I woke up in the earlier evening last night, 10:30 or so, I thought of doing a video, but my computer was so sluggish, I thought, I've got to do some maintenance. So I actually have been getting up. I ran a few different maintenance programs, and one of them wasn't quite finished when I came to the computer this morning, as I said. But hopefully it will run better now that I've run these, and it's why I'm starting the video a little bit late. But I do not intend to give up my home and let them just walk away with the fraud that they committed against me. I've gone into this a number of times, but this is, I don't see myself being able to survive with any reasonable lifestyle if I were to let them win. And so, to me, if I lose the house, they may as well put a gun to my head and blow my brains out, because I can't see myself making it. And I don't want to live as a pauper, as I said in the blurb. I don't want to live as somebody that's got to think, now, do I have enough money to buy food? Do I have enough money and I have to put stuff in storage. I already have a storage unit. I might have to get more. If I were to leave the house, I might have to get more. In fact, my intention is to sell the house once I can actually get money back for it and downsize. I want to get something that's much smaller, that's that will be good for someone my age. I'm not going to have church meetings here anymore, as I've said in some other videos. I've lost too many of my local friends who believe that you can't resist anything. You just submit to whatever comes your way, you submit. And I won't play that game. That's not me. And if they want to hate me for it, let them hate me for it. Even people in my own family seem to have forsaken me, as I said in yesterday's video. Does it hurt? Of course it hurts. But I'm still going to stand my ground, and I so appreciate the retired attorney helping me stop things, at least temporarily, till we can get things grounded a little bit better. I know there's still things that, in my mind, that have to be filed with the appeal. There was only the instant things that are present right now, but there's a whole history of 10.5 years that goes back that's relevant to the case, and including bankruptcy court. So anyway, pray for me that these things will begin to flow, and that I will finally get some level of justice and some level where I can feel comfortable living in a world that still I'd like to live in a world where heaven on earth is, but that's not here yet. Anyway, thank you for listening, and namaste.